We have a gentleman in the studio right now that we've been talking about all morning long. His name is Ryan Hargraves, and he has started a business called EagleEye LLC here in the town of Griswold. Good morning, Ryan.
Morning, Mike. Morning, Todd.
So, tell us about EagleEye LLC. How long ago did you start it?
Last November, December. So I've always kind of dabbled around with photography, digital photography. Bought a DSLR camera about 10 years ago, and it's been going back and forth. I'll put it on the shelf. It'll sit there for a year or two. I'll pick it back up. I'll put it down. Yeah. About year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I bought my first drone. So I saw the potential there. The pictures it was taking was great. I picked the camera back up, started playing with the camera again, and I went back and forth again. Well, last August, the FAA released 14 CFR Part 107, and that gave an avenue for commercial operations for drone use. So when that happened, when that went around, I studied. I took the test. It's a $150 knowledge test to basically use a drone commercially. You pass the test, and it allows you. It gives you a certificate from the government to exercise that privilege of operating the drone commercially.
Now, a lot of people don't know there's a lot of rules.
There's
as far as height and
yep.
So, like, can you go over that a little bit and what that's all about? Like, how high can you go in a drone, or what can you not do without it getting shot down by Secret Service or something?
So, for the recreational side of things, it's primarily that's what most people are going to be doing.
Now we're talking like drones that are like $150, $200.
Probably a little, even on the recreational side, you get a decent one now for about $1,000.
Yeah, they're
you know they did.
Wow,
they're pricey.
I'm out of touch.
Al's was $5.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what he has or no?
No,
Drone.
I don't.
Drone. But it flies.
It cost him $500.
He's got a drone.
It's a lot of money for a toy.
It's plastic. I don't know. He's crashed it a few times. Anyway.
So for the recreational side of things, you're bound by a community-based organization set of rules. The most widely used one is the AMA, American Model Aircraft Association, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but do a quick Google search, and it'll bring up a set of guidelines that you're requested to follow. There's as far as the federal code of regulations, the only thing that it says on the recreational side is you're bound by those rules, in addition to notifying if you're within 5 miles of an airport or heliport. And that's any heliport, any airport. There's actually one off of not Edmond Road, Bickgood Road.
A heliport?
Airstrip. So it's a
really?
farmer out there with an airstrip, but it shows up on all the FAA charts, FAA maps. And
what's he doing with an airstrip out there?
I don't know.
A little crop duster. I don't know what he's running, but
I don't know. I ride down there every day. I've never seen the airstrip unless it's way out in the back. You know, never seen anything land or take off from there.
It's an open field.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know it by looking at it.
It's not open field. It's funny that you mentioned that thing about certain rules. It just dawned on me. There has to be some kind of privacy act, because I'm sure your neighbor doesn't want you flying your drone looking in their backyard. You know,
I can actually answer that question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was talking to our resident state trooper about that. And I guess they had a situation over on Brown Avenue where somebody had some cameras outside, surveillance cameras, just for their own property. And what it was doing is it was actually getting photographs of the neighbors as they were walking out their door. And I guess these neighbors had an issue with that, thinking it was an invasion of privacy, when essentially it is not. The only invasion of privacy is if you have that camera faced right in their window.
Yeah.
That's an invasion of privacy. I mean, can you comment on that, or?
Yeah, so the way the regulations are set up with the FAA right now is the only governing agency in the United States that controls the airspace is the FAA. So that's more or less a public right-of-way above you, and it allows you
can
to
do it, yeah.
fly over and essentially do what you please.
It's public domain.
It is public domain. I mean, there are voyeurism laws and stuff on the books.
That's what I was thinking. You know,
where
if next door neighbor's sunbathing in the backyard, and you take your drone up, start filming.
Now,
it's a little weird.
As with anything, something like that. There's existing laws on the books, the voyeurism laws that, at a state level, they could use to go after a more or less rogue operator at that point. But little insight on the technology too with the drones. Most of the consumer drones and even a lot of the commercial drones, they don't have zoom capabilities. So you see what you see. And for me to even come down and take a look at something in someone's yard, I mean, you can throw a basketball and take me out of the sky before I can see what's going on. So if someone's up 200 feet, they can't make out what they're seeing.
From what I understand, every drone is registered. Is that with the FAA or is that with the government?
That's with the FAA. So there was a court case fairly recently on the recreational side where they actually deemed that the way that rule was put in place, the law was put in place, was unconstitutional. They didn't follow the correct steps to implement it. And because of that, it was thrown out. So now there is actually no registration requirement on the hobbyist side. On the commercial side, we're still required to register.
Now, are you considered a hobbyist or are you considered a commercial operator?
So it depends on the intent of the flight. I can operate under hobbyist rules if I'm just sole purpose is to have fun, fly around, and do what I want to do. But if I'm working on a project for, hypothetically, Wolverine Radio, because it's a commercial intent for me, I would have to follow the Part 107, all the commercial regulations.
Now, has the government got involved so much as they're charging fees now to have a drone?
The only fee on the commercial end is the knowledge test, $150, and registration per drone.
So that'll be coming up pretty soon.
I'm sure it will. Yeah, as soon as somebody starts making money with something, they got to take their cut as well.
And the reason why I think they have you register your drone, I don't think it's because of invasion of your privacy. I think if you're doing something improper with it and somebody takes it out, they can trace it back to you.
Yeah. So with the registration requirement that I have on the commercial end and that had just got defeated on the recreational side, you had to affix your number assigned to you for that particular drone on the aircraft. And it is searchable. The FAA can look in the database and figure out who it belongs to. But on the other side, more or less on the recreational side, it also had on the back of the card a set of guidelines that you're agreeing to when you register the aircraft. So staying away from emergency operations, staying below 400 feet.
Is that the
common sense kind of thing?
Is that the limit, 400 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. On the recreational side, there really isn't a hard-pressed limit set in stone because it goes by the community-based guidelines. And as far as I remember, there wasn't a 400-foot guideline in the community-based guidelines. On the commercial side, I am limited. There's a hard limit at 400 feet. I can't go any higher without asking permission. And a lot of those are waivable. It's just a drawn-out process. You fill out a form, basically tell the FAA how you can mitigate the safety aspects with it and get the regulation waived.
I would think that with what you're doing, which I want to get into now, is you 400 feet really is not anything really that helps you anyway.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, primarily what I'm doing is I'm doing real estate marketing. So not only with the drone, but I do all the interior, exterior MLS pictures with the DSLR camera as well. But with the drone itself, I mean, 100 feet for real estate is all you need. And you get an elevated picture of the home. You can see the whole yard, see part of the neighborhood. Anything above that, I mean, you're looking at dots on a screen, and it's really not showing you what you're trying to market.
Visual,
So you did a really nice video with Jan Mallett and Kevin Skulchek. He was in the video as well. It was some great shots of Patchogue Pond.
Yeah, it was Patchogue Pond.
Now, how long does that take you to put together?
So that particular project, Actually, that was a good project. We met that morning around 9 a.m. at the boat launch. We talked with Kevin for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we actually jumped on a boat and we motored around the pond for a couple hours. I mean, I
kind of wondered where that was coming from.
That was that one took longer than typically would, but you got a boat ride out of it. I'm not complaining. It was a Memorial Day weekend out on a pond. It was a fun time, but typically a couple hours to put together something like that.
Then you got to take it back and edit it and put it together and
piece it together, pick the best shots. What a lot ends up on a
put some music
cutting room floor. Yep,
great. Now the other one that really attracted my attention was the one you did for the Sunflower City Fair.
Yep, the Sun City Festival.
The festival, yeah. And Ryan Aubin, I guess, had contacted you, and I saw you there.
Yep.
And everything. I'm like, what's he doing? And then I saw the drone. I'm like, I get it. So
yeah.
So that's really, really cool. So it's not only just that you're doing real estate marketing.
Yeah.
There's so many other things that you can do with, that you can help people's businesses really kind of grow and grow their brand.
Yeah, and I'm trying to branch out a little bit more with that right now. Real estate really is going to be my reoccurring.
Sure. It's your base.
Yeah, base business, but there's definitely a lot more out there. I mean, video right now, video sales is king.
Yeah.
You can show somebody some still pictures, and it's one thing. You put some motion to those pictures, and it paints a whole different level, a whole different story.
Especially if you can do like a whole 360 and,
Yeah. Well, social media right now is all about video. It's the still pictures.
Well, I mean, what's the number one thing on there other than Facebook? It's YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. YouTube and Facebook. You make a YouTube video, you share it on Facebook, and it could go all over the place.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, look at Erin Polonin. What her and her husband, what they did with little Josie. They did videos, and it was just kind of, talking from a marketing standpoint. This little girl has literally millions and millions of views from Jewett City because she's just so darn cute to begin with. But you're right, about video.
Last winter, I took one picture from my driveway of the Baptist Church in Voluntown, just after one of the big snowstorms we had. I put the drone up. Must have been 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun was coming up over the horizon. Sunrise picture. I took that picture within 24 hours. I think it had 6,000 views.
That's really cool.
And it was that quick, and it surprised me. You just never know.
How do you know what you're taking a picture of?
So I can actually, on the controller.
Can you see it? There's a video screen on the controller?
There's a video screen. So with the products I'm using, I'm actually using either my mobile phone or an iPad. Primarily use an iPad that's mounted on a controller. I
always wondered people are flying around and they don't know what they're videoing. They just kind of think they know what they're doing. I always wondered how you control the shot and what you're looking at.
Yeah, I don't have a clue anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a live feed back to the controller.
All right.
And I actually have an iPad mounted on a controller so I can see what the camera sees.
That makes sense now.
I would pan the camera around based upon my vision, what I'm seeing for the shot, and try to recreate that with the aircraft.
One more technical question.
Yeah.
How do you know how high it is?
The aircraft does have telemetry, so it'll tell me based upon the point it took off from. There's a barometer in the aircraft that will give you your altitude.
Does that
from
come on the controller or is that on your iPad?
That's right down to the controller. So I have a readout that tells me my altitude, how fast I'm going. There's a map that shows me where I am in relation to the takeoff point. They all have, a lot of the higher end ones have GPS. I don't want to say they all do, but most of the higher end ones have GPS where if I say my controller dies, battery dies, it will return to the point it took off from and land.
Yeah.
You have no idea how bad I want one now. Probably about a couple listeners out there.
It's the future of pizza delivery.
I heard they're
Amazon.
Amazon,
FedEx or one of them is
Amazon, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's skeet shooting with prizes.
It is.
Kind of.
Basically.
Got to get the good ones.
Yeah. So what now you've done some work for the town.
Yep.
You've done work with Jan Mallett. And these are all on your YouTube page as well, where people can go ahead and see what you've done. Who else? Who else have you worked with? or who are you working with in the future that we know that we can see some of this work? And
there's a pending project right now.
If you can talk about it.
Yeah, pending project right now with the town that I'm excited to start working on soon, especially with the sunflowers coming up shortly. This week, next week is going to be their peak. But a couple local realtors started working with primarily on the real estate photography side, not so much with the drones yet. But there's a lot out there, and like you said,
I think you're cutting edge.
Marketing wise, video's the way to go. You do a 1 to 2 minute video. Anything over 2 minutes, people get bored and the attention span goes away.
It's short attention span theater.
Yeah. The shorter the better. You keep it short and sweet, and someone will watch the full thing, and next thing you know, you're in their head, and now they want to buy a house.
If you've noticed even on YouTube, like when you click on a video, and of course there's some videos that are, especially that male testosterone one, which is like 7 minutes long, but you can hit, skip ad after like 5 seconds or whatever. Yeah. But even some of those videos that they place there are 10 to 15 seconds now. They're changing them up. They're not full-blown commercials like they used to be up on YouTube.
They're not infomercials.
So you're exactly right. You're spot on.
Yeah.
When you say it's an attention span thing.
It really
because
is.
People are just clicking off. Yep. But if you got 10, 15 seconds, you can't. You're still getting that message.
I mean, how many times have you been on YouTube and you see the videos 30 minutes and you go, forget it. Serious.
Right. But I'm talking about the advertising message. That they're trying to get you to see.
And always save the best part for last, because people always remember the last thing they saw.
True.
Or in the first 5 seconds, because after that 5 seconds hits, I'm clicking next to go to my video.
If you're not interested in the first 5 seconds, you need the bait, and then you keep them, and then you get the big grand finale.
So now, today, there's going to be a meeting downtown.
Yep.
It's the Roundtable for Economic Development.
Correct. Yeah.
And so you were invited to come and speak on at that meeting today.
Yeah. So Kevin invited me last week to come down and kind of discuss what I do. I brought one of my drones with me to kind of put on the table and a little bit of show and tell, because let's face it, I mean, I can talk about a message, but you start putting the equipment in front of you and you're going to generate a lot more questions and whatnot. But I'm hopeful to talk to some local businesses and try to figure out if video might be something they want to pursue and try to market their brand.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. Because one of the things like that I know that we want to do here is, I'm sure you have the same capability of it, is we can stream live for up to 8 hours on YouTube. And I actually want to start doing newscasts, local newscasts from here.
Okay.
That people can just go ahead and pop it on YouTube.
Yep.
I mean, just as well as I do, there's so many smart TVs out there that have YouTube, the app built right in, or Roku or Chrome Stick or Fire Stick or whatever, and they can see it right on their television just as easy as anything. Same thing we did last summer when Kevin Merchant and I called one of the softball games. We were actually broadcasting it on YouTube as well, and we got so much feedback from all over the country, about how they were watching it right in their living room. The uncle of someone, the aunt of somebody, and they're watching it in Kansas. They're watching it in Arizona. So
even our broadcast.
Yeah, when we do the Facebook Live and stuff.
Even this broadcast.
Oh yeah, it's all over the world. Yeah,
but we have people like from Florida and here and there.
Right.
We had one person in the Amazon at one time.
That was trippy, Ryan. We actually had somebody from the Amazon, literally in how there was 4G coverage in the Amazon. That was freaking ridiculous.
I mean, so how anybody anywhere can contact you.
Definitely.
It's weird because you used to only have like a local community to get news to. Now you have the entire world.
True.
Kind of scary.
Right. I photographed a gender reveal party this past weekend for a friend of mine who's having twins. But we Facebook Live that event.
That was
as well.
You that did that?
Yep.
Man, you're all over the place, man.
But that event was Facebook Live as well, because she had.
How did they do it?
Smoke bombs.
Smoke bombs.
Smoke grenades.
So I put your picture up on social media on our group.
Yep.
And we already had one person, Wendy. Yeah, that has put up I'm assuming that's your work right there.
Yep, that's my work. That's
That was within like a minute.
Lasco Pond.
Yeah.
That's hers and Bronson's house.
I thought that was Randy's house. I thought that because I've been there many times. But she's put 3 pictures up now already, and I think that's just a testament. When as soon as we announce that you're on, boom, somebody's already putting your photos up there and your work up there. Thank you. And they're excellent photos, Ryan.
Thank you.
They're absolutely. Look at that. Look at that, dude.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's an incredible picture.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's? Yeah, that's one of my favorites from that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just really cool. I mean, it's bright, it's crisp, and there's a lot of colors in there, and it's just a really nice picture. Now, how high was the drone up for that?
I was maybe
50 feet,
50 feet off the water. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff there. I mean, especially in the real estate, and that's my primary market.
The colors are vivid.
You don't want to go that high.
That's what I noticed. The colors just stand right out.
That's Randy's house.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Bronson. Who we never see anymore because he's at Mohegan Sun half the time. He's head of arena security now.
Okay.
Not sure.
Yeah. So what else can you tell us about? What other businesses do you think would really benefit? I think pretty much anybody, especially for like imaging, is concerned.
Imaging. I'm working on a project right now for Lavender Hill Farms in Voluntown, the alpaca farm.
Mm-hmm.
I went out for their shearing day when they sheared all the alpacas. That was in May. And now we're kind of putting together a little short informational how-to 2-minute video on the steps from the alpaca getting sheared, the fiber down to the spinning to the yarn, and then eventually the final product, the gloves, the mittens, and whatnot.
Which alpaca farm?
Lavender.
Lavender?
Yeah.
Oh, Rose's place.
Yep.
Oh, did you meet Champ by any chance?
I did. With that.
Oh, Champ.
Champ was
the mascot, right?
Yeah, it was the mascot for Hillfest.
He was our Alpantha.
Huh? He was Alpantha, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But we were trying to promote in Plainfield.
Okay.
So he was an Alpantha. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. Want to come down? I'll pack a lunch. So
I think a great business that would appreciate your kind of business would be a golf course, because you literally could go from the tee and fly down the holes and show each hole what the setup, the layout, what they look like, and you could post the video.
Yep.
And like, let's say I want to play a course I've never been there before. I can go on the video and I can check out the course, and I'm like, wow, that looks pretty cool. I want to play there. That looks challenging.
And he's a golfer, so
perfect.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if I could look at the course before I go there and go, just wow, yeah.
Golf courses, car dealerships. It's another one. You turn on a TV tonight, start looking at commercials with car dealerships, and a lot of it's drone footage, higher end drones, but drones nonetheless.
But still, I mean, I think this is really exciting. I think this is something that you're just.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Was it Phil that brought up the movie industry?
I don't know, actually,
because it costs thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
It was Phil, yeah.
To rent a helicopter.
Yep.
To get these shots of like car chases and things like that, and you got a drone.
Now they're doing with drones, unmanned.
Yeah.
Yep. Independent films, he said.
Yep.
I think it's really exciting. I mean, 'cause I think you're just at the beginning of something that's just going to blow up. Not your drone, but I mean, I think it's just something that's pretty exciting.
You just jinxed me.
No, that's kind of like telling somebody to break a leg before they go on stage. It's like, so.
Blow up.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, blow up, kid.
Don't crash. So we'll see you at the EDC meeting this afternoon and everything.
Sounds good.
Anything else? Why don't you give your phone number out, website, and YouTube page out? We'll post it on our page as well. But if you want to go ahead and give that out now, that'd be great.
So EagleEye LLC on Facebook and on YouTube. I can reach mobile phone 860-319-3516 for your aerial needs.
Okay, for your aerial needs.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. You get wackos calling now,
I know, huh?
Hey, what kind of aerial needs you got? Can we meet up? Ryan, thank you very much for stopping on by.
Thank you for having
anything
me.
else you want to touch on before we we call it a day on this? Because I want to make sure you say everything that you want to say.
I think we covered it. I think we're good.
All right. So for all your aerial needs, well, anything for imaging packages, I'm assuming
visual marketing.
Videos.
Yeah,
and that's a great pickup line too.
What?
Hey, baby, I can meet all your aerial needs.
Jerk. All right, Ryan Hargraves from EagleEye LLC. I'm sure we will see great things from this business here in the town of Griswold coming forward. So,
thank you.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Awesome.
Wolverine Radio. It's got some bite.